On the buses turned a depot, a noisy household, and a grumbling inspector into British sitcom memory. Behind Stan's grin, Jack's mischief, Olive's chaos, and Blakey's famous temper were long careers, private struggles, sad farewells, and performers who became part of television history. Stan Butler is the cheeky London bus driver at the heart of On the Buses, the working-class rogue whose grin and excuses keep the depot in constant trouble. Played by Reg Varney, born in 1916 in Canning Town, London, England, he was 53 when the series began in 1969. He passed away in 2008 at 92, leaving behind one of British sitcom's most familiar comic faces. Stan remains memorable because Varney made him flawed, funny, quick-thinking, and always ready to chase a laugh, a shortcut, or a little romance. Beyond On the Buses, Reg Varney worked in variety, film, television, and stage, and became linked to British banking history as the first person to use a cash machine in 1967. His Stan Butler endures as a classic sitcom rogue, forever smiling through the chaos of the depot. Olive Rudge is Stan Butler's lovably awkward sister in On the Buses, the emotional heart of the Butler household, and half of one of the show's most chaotic marriages. Played by Anna Karen, born in 1936 in Durban, South Africa, she was 33 when the series began in 1969. She passed away in 2022 at 85 in a tragic house fire, leaving fans with one of the show's saddest final chapters. Olive remains beloved because Karen gave her clumsiness, vulnerability, loyalty, and warmth, keeping the character human beneath the broad comedy. Beyond On the Buses, Anna Karen remained a familiar face in British television and later became known to new audiences as Aunt Sal in EastEnders. Her Olive Rudge endures as one of British sitcom's most recognizable comic figures, messy, emotional, and remembered with real affection. Inspector Cyril Blakey. Blake is the gruff depot inspector in On the Buses, the fussy authority figure whose endless war with Stan and Jack gives the show its sharpest workplace comedy. Played by Stephen Lewis, born in 1926 in Poplar, London, England, he was 42 when the series premiered in 1969. He passed away in 2015 at 88 after a long period of ill health, leaving behind one of British sitcom's most famous comic catchphrases. Blakey remains unforgettable because Lewis made him strict, suspicious, frustrated, ridiculous, and oddly lovable even when he was trying to ruin everyone's fun. Beyond On the Buses, Stephen Lewis also wrote for television and later appeared in Last of the Summer Wine, reaching another generation of viewers. His Blakey endures because he lost almost every battle with Butler, yet won a permanent place in sitcom history. Mum is the practical and no-nonsense matriarch of the Butler household in On the Buses, the woman trying to hold the family together while everyone else complains, schemes, or falls apart. Played by Doris Hare, born in 1905 in Bargoed, Wales, she was 64 when she took over the role after the pilot in 1969. She passed away in 2000 at 95, leaving behind a long career in music hall, stage, film, and television. Mum remains beloved because Hare gave her bluntness, warmth, dry timing, and the authority of a woman who had heard every excuse before. Beyond On the Buses, Doris Hare brought decades of performance experience to British entertainment, making even ordinary household scenes feel lived in and real. Her mum endures as the sharp-tongued heart of the home, loving in her own way, and impossible to fool for long. Doreen is the lively Clippy in On the Buses, a bright supporting figure whose flirtatious energy adds sparkle to the depot's working day chaos. Played by Pat Ashton, born in 1931 in Birmingham, England, She was 40 when she appeared on the series in 1971. She passed away in 2013 at 82 after cancer, leaving behind a fondly remembered place in British comedy. Doreen remains memorable because Ashton brought cheeky charm, quick timing, and the feeling of a workplace where flirting, jokes, and irritation all happened in the same breath. Beyond on the buses, Pat Ashton appeared in British television and comedy productions, including The Benny Hill Show and other light entertainment. Her Doreen endures as one of the supporting faces who made the depot feel busy, social, and unmistakably of its era. Joyce is a cheerful young Clippy in On the Buses, one of the friendly depot figures who helps fill the workplace with everyday life. Played by Ursula Mohan, born in 1946 in London, England, she was 23 when the series began in 1969. In 2026, Ursula Mohan is 80. Joyce remains memorable because Mohan brought youthful warmth, lightness, and a natural presence to scenes built around Stan and Jack's schemes. Beyond on the buses, Ursula Mohan built a long career across British television, radio, and stage, appearing in dramas, sitcoms, and theater productions. Her Joyce endures as part of the Clippy culture and workplace humor that gave the show its unmistakable identity. Bert is one of the friendly busmen in On the Buses, a familiar depot face whose easygoing presence adds to the show's working-class camaraderie. Played by John Lyons. Born in 1943 in Whitechapel, London, England, he was 27 when the series began in 1969. In 2026, John Lyons is 83. Bert remains notable because Lyons gave him a relaxed and natural quality, helping the depot feel like a real workplace, full of colleagues, banter, and everyday complaints. Beyond on the buses, John Lyons became best known for his long-running role as Detective Sergeant George Tulin in A Touch of Frost. His Bert endures as an early step in a long British television journey, a cheerful depot face before decades of later recognition. The manager is the stern depot authority in On the Buses, the man trying to keep order among drivers and conductors determined to bend the rules. Played by Sheard. Born in 1938 in Aberdeen, Scotland, he was 35 when he appeared in the series in 1973. He passed away in 2005 at 67 after cancer, leaving behind a wide and beloved character actor legacy. The manager remains memorable because Sheard brought clipped authority, irritation, and the perfect face of management for Stan, Jack, and the others to dodge. Beyond on the buses, Sheard became known for Grange Hill as Mr. Bronson, several Doctor Who stories, and The Empire Strikes Back as Admiral Ozzel. His manager endures as one of many strict authority roles he made unforgettable. Arthur Rudge is Olive's grumbling husband in On the Buses, the sour domestic counterpoint whose sarcasm gives the Butler household much of its rough comic edge. Played by Michael Robbins. Born in 1930 in Croydon, Surrey, England, he was 38 when the series began in 1969. He passed away in 1992 at 62 from prostate cancer, leaving behind one of the show's most recognizable comic complainers. Arthur remains memorable because Robbins made him dry, weary, irritated, and sharply funny, turning domestic frustration into a constant source of comedy. Beyond on the buses, Michael Robbins worked across British television, stage, sitcoms, dramas, and variety-style entertainment. His Arthur Rudge endures as the grumbling husband forever trapped in a marriage that gave viewers plenty to laugh about. Mum, the original version of the Butler family matriarch in the On the Buses pilot, was the first screen shape of a role that would become central to the show's home life. Played by Cicely Courtneidge. Born in 1893 in Sydney, Australia, she was 76 when she appeared in 1969. She passed away in 1980, at 87, leaving behind a major legacy in British theatre, film, music hall, and early television. Her version of Mum remains important because Courtneidge brought old-school polish, sharp timing, and the authority of a performer with decades of experience. Beyond On the Buses, Cicely Courtneidge was already a major entertainer long before the sitcom began, admired for comedy and musical performance. Her mum endures as the brief but important first voice of the Butler household before the series found its lasting shape. Sandra is the lively Clippy in On the Buses, a late series supporting figure whose charm adds sparkle to the depot's social world. Played by Sandra Bryant, born in 1945 in Edgware, London, England, she was 28 when she appeared in the series in 1973. In 2026, Sandra Bryant is 81. Sandra remains memorable because Bryant brought brightness, confidence, and style to the familiar world of uniforms, teasing, flirting, and break room banter. Beyond On the Buses, Sandra Bryant appeared in British films and television, including glamour and comedy roles that reflected the entertainment style of the 1960s and 1970s. Her Sandra endures as a cheerful final stretch figure tied to the depot's busy comic rhythm. Nobby is the jovial bus driver in On the Buses, a friendly supporting figure who helps round out the depot ensemble. Played by Norman Mitchell. Born in 1918 in Sheffield, Yorkshire, England, he was 51 when the series began in 1969. He passed away in 2001, at 82, leaving behind the legacy of a dependable British character actor. Nobby remains memorable because Mitchell brought hearty warmth, natural comic ease, and the feeling of a colleague everyone at the depot would know. Beyond On the Buses, Norman Mitchell appeared across British film, television, and comedy, often playing policemen, officials, drivers, and sturdy supporting figures. His Nobby endures as a small but important piece of the working day spirit that kept the show rolling. Jack Harper is the mischievous bus conductor in On the Buses, the cheeky partner whose schemes and flirtations power much of the depot comedy. Played by Bob Grant, born in 1932 in Hammersmith, London, England, he was 37 when the series premiered in 1969. He passed away in 2003, at 71, after a later life marked by personal struggles and time away from the spotlight. Jack remains unforgettable because Grant gave him roguish charm, relaxed confidence, and the perfect double-act rhythm beside Stan Butler. Beyond On the Buses, Bob Grant found it difficult to escape the role that made him famous, though he continued acting and remained closely tied to the sitcom's popularity. His Jack Harper endures as one of British TV's memorable troublemakers, cheeky, restless, and inseparable from Stan's laughter. And that is the story of On the Buses, a sitcom built on depot banter, family squabbles, cheeky friendships, and the everyday humor of a working world long gone. Some performers became forever linked to one unforgettable role, while others carried long careers across stage, film, and British television. Stan's grin, Jack's mischief, Blakey's grumble, and Olive's unmistakable charm still roll on in memory. If this journey brought back memories, please like, subscribe, and stay with Hollywood 1960s TV, where the legends of the Golden Age live on.